Hi, I'm Sean Stahl with R&T Calls, and I'm going to go over a little short read 101 here to get you up and running on a short read goose call and get you out into the field and being productive calling birds into your spread. Now there's several steps that we're going to go through here, and it's going to be a series here, so you're going to want to listen to this first one and then practice and move on to the next one. The first section is just how to present air into a call. Back in the day, we used to teach people how to hold the call properly and put back pressure into the call. That kind of developed some issues down the line trying to do some advanced style calling. So what we tend to do, or what I tend to do now, is teach people how to call without putting your hands over the end of the call or manipulating the airflow out of the call. So you should be able to properly operate a Canada goose call, a short reed goose call, without your hands on the end of the call. Now it's going to sound a little bit more like a kazoo and less like the actual Canada goose that you're trying to call, but you're still building the proper mechanics to be able to blow a goose call. And without having your hands on the call, it'll sound like this. And then eventually you'll put your hands on it, and that's another step down the line. But in order to get the call to operate properly, we teach people how to present the air into the call. So you're just going to hold the call, just like you grab a Coke bottle or whatever to take a drink of it, and you're going to bring it up to your bottom lip and then press it against your top lip and create a seal around the call to not allow any air out. You're not going to want to puff your cheeks out in any way. You want this air going straight into the call, and you're going to say, if for a reference word, say the word like who, W-H-O, or ooh into the call. And it's a clear sound. There's no voice inflection, none of that right there. So it just sounds like this. And if you can carry that tune without fluctuating it up and down, it's just a solid note, who or ooh. Once you can do that for a number of seconds without breaking the call or making it drop off or flutter, then you can add the second note. And what we're really doing is where we're putting the air into the call, it's kind of like if this was a hose and water was coming out of it. So in the ooh part, your thumb is not over the end of the hose, so the water's just kind of coming out and dribbling out. For the next portion, you need to speed up the air and make it faster, because how a short reed works is it's short, rapid bursts of high pressure air. And so it's like you're saying, ooh, and then you put your thumb over the end of the hose and you're trying to make it squirt farther. It's just you're increasing that pressure by putting your thumb over it. And you're doing that with your mouth cavity. So your tongue in your mouth, when you're saying ooh, is down. If this is the roof of your mouth, this is your tongue, you're saying ooh, and then you bring your tongue up to the roof of your mouth and use a reference word like SH, like you're trying to tell everybody in the room to be quiet, not just the person next to you. So it's shh, shh. So into the call, you're gonna say whoosh, whoosh, and emphasize that SH. Whoosh, whoosh. Into the back of the call, it's gonna sound like this. And I gotta emphasize that we're not trying to sound like a Canada goose. We're not trying to mimic our buddies in the blind. We're trying to learn how to properly operate a short reed goose call. And to do that, we have to learn how to crawl, then walk, then run, and then jump in the blind. So right now we're crawling. This sound is not gonna sound like a Canada goose, but I promise you at the end of this series, if you follow it step by step, you'll be out there in the field sounding just like the real deal. So into the call, it's whoosh. And what I try to get people to do if I'm doing this one-on-ones, or people are calling up on the phone or doing over the, just texting, messaging back and forth, I try to tell them, do this 10 times in a row. If you can make that sound 10 times in a row, you're ready to move on to the next step. So it's so that covers the full first step. It's not a big lesson, but it's one of the hardest lessons to learn, getting that call to break over properly. You'll find yourself in the middle of it where you puff your cheeks out, or you're not making a break over, you're going. Remember, it's short. You got that ah, or that, excuse me, the who, or ooh, and then ish, and you can also use the word ick, but that's, you got to push that air through. You get that, and you're going to be able to make all the advanced sounds later on.